Hey, what's up guys? I'm Jacob Kaufman, I'm into the street, and today we're taking a look at another Linux desktop environment. This time it is Enlightenment. So once again, this is the Enlightenment desktop environment. This is Enlightenment version 17. And when I say it's version 17, it's more like version 0.17. Because Enlightenment is still heavy in development. As you can see from their website, I'll show you in a minute. But this is Enlightenment. Now Enlightenment, because it's so early in development, is actually not included in a whole lot of distributions. MacPup is basically Puppy Linux just with Enlightenment on it, so I downloaded that. I believe Enlightenment 17 is available in the Arch user repositories if you're using Arch or an Arch-based distribution. I checked the Fedora repositories. The Fedora repositories only have Enlightenment version 16. Did not check any other distributions. But yeah, we're using MacPup today because it's based around, or it's made specifically for Enlightenment. So as you can see, it is an extremely minimalistic desktop. It is not meant to emulate Windows. It's not meant to emulate macOS. It's not meant to emulate anything. It's really made to work in its own kind of workflow type of way. And you'll see that in a minute. So as you can see, we can have widgets on the desktop. I believe there are different configurations you can have with Conky on the desktop, so you can be monitoring your system resources. We just have a clock widget here to start out with, and if you click on that, there is a calendar, it looks like. You'll see that by clicking away from that, it does not take the calendar off the screen. If we open up another window, still does not take the calendar off the screen. Your widget pop-ups are going to stay there until you get rid of them. I'm not going to go through these, one by one, because these just come with MacPup. These are not part of Enlightenment. All of these programs are not part of Enlightenment, but some of them are, such as the Roxfiler File Manager. And this is the Enlightenment File Manager. Once again, you can see it's extremely minimalistic. That's kind of embarrassing. Alright, never mind. This is the official Enlightenment File Manager, I believe. And yeah, this, you do need to double-click to get into directories. So yeah, double-click into things and double-click to open things. You can see this has normal context menus with, your normal right-click menu. You can see we've got kind of weird cursor things going on. We don't see a change in the cursor when we approach the edge of the window that we want to expand. Instead, we see a little bouncing animation come up, and that's how we know when we can click and drag. Same thing on the side. If we it's a little difficult. If we do it on the corner, I think it works. Maybe not. Yeah, there we go. So if we hover near the corner on the edge of the window, you can see it's got the little animation there, so we can resize this. As you can see, there are numbers on the screen telling you how many pixels each application is using while you're resizing them. And this is an extremely snappy desktop environment, extremely lightweight, and it's meant to be very, very lightweight while still looking as nice as possible. It's lightweight first, but they still do put some effort into the design of the desktop. You can see at the bottom here, there are two desktops. You can have more than two, but we do have multiple desktop support. Here we've got a process viewer, so as you can see, we can switch back and forth between our two different desktops, and it starts counting at 0, and then, we have 1. So yeah, that's nice. As you can see, we do have some animations, and yeah. Here, this little M, I don't think that's the MacPup logo. That's not the Enlightenment logo. It's based off of the default theme. Alright, so this theme should be pretty close to the default theme. It's based off the default Enlightenment theme. But yeah, it was modified for MacPup. I'm trying to see, I don't believe that we have any other themes installed, unfortunately. No, we don't. But yeah, normally this would be, I guess, the Enlightenment logo or an E or something, this little menu here. And we can click on that menu and we have settings, and we have different menus that contain our settings. We have Enlightenment options, restart, exit, that's for logging out and shutting down. Windows, you can switch back and forth between your different windows, no matter what desktop they're on. Cleanup windows will put them all up at the top left, or at least the ones in view. If we go to Windows, cleanup windows, it will tile them for you so they look nice. Desktop, we can, have different virtual desktops. We can change our virtual desktop options here. We can have two rows of them. So now we have, as you can see, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, or 1, 1, 1. Yeah, 1, 0, 1, whatever. You see the numbering scheme that they've got going on. So yeah, our widget just adds the different desktops to there, and that widget is part of Enlightenment. You will see, this is the menu, the main Enlightenment menu. You don't need to click on the logo for that. That logo is just for people who are new to Enlightenment. You can really click anywhere on the desktop. I'm just left-clicking. Right-clicking on the desktop gives you your favorite applications menu. Left-clicking on the desktop gives you your main Enlightenment menu. So we can get to all of our applications just from the main Enlightenment menu. And if you see the applications, all of these applications came with MacPup. Once again, they might not all be part of Enlightenment. Most of them are probably not part of Enlightenment. But you can go through and, like Firefox, we can drag to our favorites, or I'm wondering how we add things to our favorites. Not quite sure how we add an application to our favorites. Oh, right-click on the title bar, add to favorites menu. So now if we... Okay. But yeah, you can see our window decorations here. And it's not the most, it's not the most polished thing in the world. It is shiny. It's not necessarily smooth, but it is shiny. It looks just as good as LXDE. It looks better than, like, Windows 2000 did. I don't know what the corresponding GTK theme would be for Windows 2000. The old gray versions of Windows. This looks nicer than just gray buttons. But yeah, it's not the most polished thing. Yeah, you can see there's a run box, and that will let you look at your different applications you have installed, look at the different settings you have open, or different windows you have open, look at your settings. You can have plugins for Enlightenment, so that's nice. Yeah, take screenshot, basic options. I don't think that there's a way to store things on the desktop. We're just taking things out of the dock right now, but we're not actually putting anything on the desktop. So yeah, there might be, because Enlightenment is extremely customizable. As you can see here, we have a whole lot of different settings panels. But yeah, it's a minimalistic desktop, and let me show you the website, because the website kind of says a lot about it. Website is enlightenment.org, and you can see, once again, the website's kind of like the desktop. Like, it's a nice theme. It's not the most polished thing, but it is a nice theme. And you can see they do have a version for mobile phones or mobile devices. It's meant to be responsive. It doesn't look like there's a separate version for mobile computers. It looks like it's meant to be responsive based on the size of your screen. So you can see how minimalistic this is. 16 megabytes will run Enlightenment. 64 megabytes is the recommended minimum. The absolute minimum requirement is 16 megabytes of RAM. But yeah, it's really more of a desktop than a desktop environment. It's really more of just a window manager and, a basic desktop. Yeah, so that's Enlightenment. Not a whole lot to say about it. If it looks interesting, if you're looking for something different, then try it out. Obviously, version 0.17 is not going to be, it's not going to be daily driver ready necessarily, but it's been around for a while. This is not anything new. Enlightenment has been out for a few years at least, so yeah, you're going to be able to use it for pretty much anything you need to use it for, if you can adapt to its whole interface thing it has going on, which is, it's cool that they're doing something different. Oh, you can see the About Enlightenment thing here, and we have credits. That's interesting. So yeah, that is the Enlightenment desktop. I'm Jacob Kaufman. I'm the Nerd on the Street, and I will see you guys later. See ya.